Tuesday, December 9th.
Anytime we take one airline out of the mix, the others are impacted. So seat capacity on other airlines is going to be impacted if one airline goes down.
Air travel limbo. Passengers brace for possible disruptions and delays as a strike by Air Transat pilots loom.
This new facility is going to help the city reach its target of diverting 65% of our waste from our landfill.
City of Regina has a new partner and different location for its composting facility.
In the spirit of Christmas, Liberals admit they were wrong, vote for their own wording, approve a pipeline, and get rid of the tanker ban.
The Conservatives are looking to pressure the Liberals by putting their support for a pipeline to a vote. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
And it is the freezing rain. This is the big story. The roads are the big story this morning. There are warnings on the highways this morning, so take extra time on your commute. We'll take a look at the highway hotline here with a couple of images from your roads, a couple of areas to really focus in on. If Director Corey wants to pull that up on the screen, this is the full province. Now, blue, of course, means travel not recommended. Yellow is winter driving conditions, and red is snow-covered roads. Two areas to really focus in on this morning. Up in the Battlefords is the first one. All highways around Lloydminster and the Battlefords snow-covered, partially snow-covered. They're reporting snow, ice, loose snow, and drifting snow this morning. But the real area of concern is those of you out in the southeast corner of the province. All that blue right around Weyburn. Highway 6 from Regina all the way to the U.S. border. Travel not recommended there due to ice, and that includes all highways around Weyburn. So we're going to deal with this for much of the day.
Yeah, so this is all thanks to that Alberta low-pressure system that we were talking about yesterday moving in. It's going to be tapering off in the later parts of the afternoon, but still going to be seeing some more of that snow into the evening today and into tomorrow as well.
Oh, sure. Blame our province of Alberta. You couldn't blame BC, right? Let's get over to news. We'll get to weather because that's very important. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, Prime Minister Mark Carney says changes are coming to the return to office requirements for federal workers.
There will likely be different levels of return depending on seniority, depending on role, and obviously depending on capacity.
The Prime Minister made the comment at the Mayor's breakfast in Ottawa yesterday morning. The head of the Federal Workers Union says this was the first time she has heard from Ottawa about this since a report came out last week. That report from La Presse says the government is considering bringing public servants back to the office full-time by 2027. Prime Minister Mark Carney says there should be more clarity in the weeks ahead. It's another day of uncertainty for Air Transat passengers, with pilots ready to walk off the job tomorrow.
A little bit nervous, but I'm hoping everything will be okay and we'll be home next Monday.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not really much we can do about it.
The airline is preparing to wind down operations ahead of the possible strike. It had said it would be suspending all service today. However, that has not happened yet. Saskatoon and Regina both reporting everything on time. 6 flights have been canceled so far. Negotiations between the two sides started nearly a year ago. Pilots want better pay and working conditions, along with some job security. Ottawa will give some doctors trained outside Canada a fast track to permanent residency.
Many of these doctors are already treating patients in our communities. We cannot afford to lose them.
The express entry category is for international doctors with at least 1 year of Canadian work experience in the past 3 years. Doctors nominated will have their work permits processed within 14 days. There will be 5,000 spots available for doctors nominated by provinces and territories. This comes as a national survey shows there are almost 6 million Canadians without access to regular primary care. A Saskatoon nurse is showing her compassion once again as the war in Ukraine grinds on, marking her birthday by rallying her community to help send warmth to Ukrainians one blanket at a time. Carla Shinkaruk reports.
What you see is 23 boxes filled of donated quilts and medical supplies that need to get to Ukraine.
This is Tanya Baran. She's a nurse in Saskatoon, but thousands of kilometers away in Ukraine, she has become something more, a lifeline of support for those fighting on the front lines of the ongoing war.
Being Ukrainian isn't just, the usual thing where, you eat pierogies and cabbage rolls. But for me, it's a country that I love, and the roots and the culture and the traditions, the language that all comes with it is so important to me and to my family.
Baran has been to Ukraine 7 times since 2022. Now she's in Kiev until January. She's the medical lead for Ukrainian Patriot, a grassroots relief group. She's currently experiencing the blackouts due to Russian strikes firsthand, even losing power during our interview.
Without any warning, everything just turns off, everything goes dark. The hums of generators are constant, that it just becomes like another background noise that we have to listen for. It's tough times right now, I have to say.
Her desire to help is ingrained, and as her birthday approaches for a second year in a row, she's asking her Facebook followers to skip their traditional well wishes and instead donate to this cause.
With Russia hitting Ukraine's infrastructure and winter fast approaching, it is vital that we get these items there as soon as possible.
Those blankets are sitting in Saskatoon right now waiting to be shipped. She says it may seem simple, but they have become an essential item since heating is unreliable.
It makes for some very cold, long days.
Last year, Baran's birthday fundraiser garnered $1,500, which helped send tourniquets and other medical supplies to the front lines. Carla Shenkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Major drug bust in Saskatoon yesterday. Jeremy Dodge, you've been all over this. What do we know?
Well, Daryl, 6 people are facing charges following this drug trafficking investigation by Saskatoon police. Here's a look at what was seized when members of SPS and the RCMP searched homes in Saskatoon in the West Industrial area, as well as the Rosewood, College Park, and Forest Grove neighborhoods and Martinsville. Almost 2,000 grams of cocaine, MDMA pills, $17,000 cash, as well as weapons and drug trafficking supplies. 4 men aged 23 to 32 and 2 women aged 28 and 35 are facing a string of weapons and drug-related charges. The Prince Albert Firefighters Association is asking the city for additional fire halls. The association says this is the first year in the department's history it's responded to more than 2,000 calls. Prince Albert Firefighters Association President Ben Hunter says the crew's workload has increased in recent years, and the city needs more than 1 fire hall. That's all it has right now. He says the increase in calls is partially due to the city expanding, but the fire department's also been dealing with more calls related to homelessness.
We have a problem with, it's not just a local problem, it's a regional problem, a countrywide problem with the unhoused, and we do a lot of outside fires, we do a lot of dumpster fires. It's just all our work has significantly increased. There's another.
The city says it is aware of the issue and additional fire halls are in the works, but due to financial constraints, the projects won't be moving forward for a few years. All right, Daryl, there was a guilty plea in a retrial in Regina.
It's in a 2022 theft of more than $5 million rather, in an investment scheme. Sierra D'Souza Butts with why.
The defense representing Alina Pastuge requested to reopen her trial after she pleaded guilty to financial fraud of close to $5 million a year ago. Pastuge was charged in the theft of millions of dollars in an investment scheme dating back to 2006. She entered a guilty plea in September 2024 after a joint submission from the Crown and defense presented a 3-year sentence. Although sentencing was set to begin in March, it was delayed at the request of her current lawyer, indicating it needed additional time to review disclosure and gather documents that supported Pastuche's health claims. On Monday at Court of King's Bench, the defense argued that Pastuche's former lawyer did not advise her a jury trial could take place before she pleaded guilty, asking the judge for a retrial. This would be Pastuche's 3rd trial if the case were to be reopened. In 2019, Pastuche was convicted for embezzling funds, for which she was sentenced to 7 years in prison. She represented herself in the case, and a new trial was ordered in 2022 after the Court of Appeal reversed its decision due to claims of miscarriage of justice and error in fact and law. The Crown also asked the judge if Pastuche's former lawyer could be cross-examined. The judge is expected to make a decision on the request made by the Crown and the defense come December 12th. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
RCMP in Lumsden are investigating a fatal collision. Officers say a car and semi collided around 3:45 in the afternoon on Sunday on Highway 11 between Lumsden and Regina. The 29-year-old man driving the car was declared dead on scene. The driver of the semi was not injured. Lumsden RCMP continue to investigate. No names have been released. Punishai RCMP are investigating a fatal collision between a train and a pickup. It happened on December 7th at around 8:30 at night near Siemens, Saskatchewan. Officers say the early investigation determined that a train and pickup truck collided in the off-road part of the train track. The 63-year-old woman driving the truck was declared dead on scene. No injuries reported by the train staff. RCMP and CN police are investigating. No names have been released. RCMP in Dillon have seized drugs and weapons in a residence on the Buffalo River Dene Nation after executing a search warrant. Dillon RCMP, with the help of Meadow Lake crime reduction teams, have executed that warrant. That happened Thursday, arresting 2 men at a residence. Officers found and seized about 484 grams of cocaine, large sum of cash, and a loaded handgun with a missing serial number, along with a rifle. Dang Dang and Cool Cool, both of Calgary, faced 21 charges in drugs and weapons. Both were scheduled to appear in court in La Loche yesterday. City of Regina's new partner and a different location selected for its composting facility. A new agreement has been reached between the city and the Oasis Organics Group, which is going to build and operate Regina's new food and yard waste processing plant about 3 kilometers east of the city along Highway 33 on land owned by the Cowasis First Nation. Oasis is also owned by the First Nation. The announcement comes after the city was forced to terminate a previous contract which sought to build a facility near Pilot Butte.
This new facility is going to help the city reach its target of diverting 65% of our waste from our landfill. The city's landfill is, the city's largest emitter of methane gas, which is a powerful climate change gas, much stronger than carbon dioxide.
This project will create skilled jobs, strengthening long-term economic sovereignty for Cowes First Nation, and bring millions of dollars of investment into the region.
Oasis says the process will be odor-free and have little impact on nearby residents. Hockey Canada has announced the training camp roster for the World Junior Hockey Championship team. It features just one Saskatchewan player. Macklin, Saskatchewan's Cole Regina will look to make the team. He's currently playing for the University of North Dakota. Last season, he had 92 points in 62 games with the Victoria Royals. Now he's got his eyes set on taking on Czechia as the World Junior team. Let's get over to the weather conditions and particularly our roads, because those are developing very quickly, Kayleen.
Yeah, our roads this morning, really not great. We're seeing some pretty poor conditions around Estevan now, where we did just see some closures pop up on the highway hotline. So definitely reference that if you are heading out the door. We're also seeing some covered roads around Regina as well. Weyburn, Radville, travel not recommended between Weyburn and Regina this morning. All those pink colors, that is the covered roads. So just definitely reference this if you're heading out the door this morning. We really are seeing a lot. Radar and satellite behind me here also showing quite a bit happening. This is all thanks to that low pressure system that made its way in overnight from Alberta. Of course, you're seeing a lot of colors on your screen right now. So the purple indicating all those flurries. The pink, that's the freezing rain. And then the green, that's just the rain that's been falling overnight. Now, the futurecast also showing we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the hours heading into the afternoon today. So we have some flurries. This is current right now, falling in and around the area around Yorkton, up through areas around Saskatoon, Prince Albert. Of course, still seeing some of that rain and freezing rain falling around Swift Current and Regina, and then down through Estevan, of course. Into the afternoon today, we're just talking about the flurries. The freezing rain will taper off in the early parts of the afternoon, so there is some good news there. But then we are talking about some of those flurries going to be packing down some of those areas. Again, it's just not the day to be driving quickly out on those roads. Give yourself a lot of time today. Yorkton going to be seeing most of that snow falling this afternoon, and then we do see that system exit the province before we are talking about some more flurries coming in again from Alberta. First impacting areas down through the southwest corner, areas just south of Swift Current. Going to be seeing it first tomorrow morning, and then into the afternoon hours we see it affecting areas around Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Regina. Finally, about to exit the province through the east into Manitoba, and it's still affecting areas around Yorkton, and then up through Nipawin into the northern part of the province as well. Into Thursday, again, we're still talking about some more flurries, so it's going to be coming and going, but really just be prepared for flurries for the next few days. We're also talking about today's wind gusts. It's not just going to be snow today, it's going to be blowing snow. Areas around Regina and Estevan, you see lighting up in red there. Areas around Assiniboia as well. We could see those winds surpassing 60 kilometers per hour, so definitely be ready for that as well. Current temperatures now, we're seeing about -12 in Prince Albert, -11 in Melfort, -11 in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, at least for the morning, we are seeing warmer temperatures. Some areas right now are currently into the positive integers. 3 degrees in East End, 2 degrees in Swift Current, and 2 degrees in Assiniboia. Well, if your kid is bored and needs something to do, here's an idea.
I have this for you.
Oh, what are they?
Rocks.
They're crystally.
You like them?
Yeah.
Come on, have fun.
Sometimes it really is the simplest things that keeps kids entertained. Who needs all those expensive toys, right?
Hey, last week we bought another car seat, and the box has been a big hit.
Yeah, huge hit.
Oh, remember when we were kids, Jeremy? You used to get like they got a new appliance in the house, like a fridge. You got a fridge box was the ultimate score.
You know what is such a big hit in our house right now?
Oh, box fort rules.
Oh, yeah.
It's the strainer. She found the strainer and she put it on her head, and now that is the best toy in the house right now. So.
All right, there you go. We're turning our attention to the question of the day, and we have baked goods coming into our offices all the time right now.
Yeah, and so thankful for that because I love some good Christmas baking. Jeremy, do you have a favorite?
Ginger snaps.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I love ginger snaps so much.
My grandma used to make the best ginger snap cookies.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually controversial, not a ginger snap fan.
Okay.
They're okay, definitely far from my favorite. The Christmas toffee, they call it Christmas crack, but it has crackers in it. And the toffee, oh my goodness, it's so good.
Okay, we want to know from you at home what your favorite is. All you got to do is pick up your smartphone. It's probably already in your hand. Text 10400, standard message rates may apply, or scan the QR code on your screen. Let's take a look over a freezing rain-filled city of Regina. Roads are closing. We'll have your updates after this.
Hello there, Adam Scully with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for that, we're heading to Utah. Kings and the Mammoth 3-on-2 rush for LA. Check out Adrian Kempe. What a dangle. Score on the backhand, his 10th goal of the season, and he does it in style, earning the must-see moment from Monday. Now, tonight on TSN, we've got some college hoops for you. It's the Jimmy V Classic as Clemson takes on BYU. It all starts at 6:30 Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. That's all from the TSN newsroom. Have a great day.
There may be new hope for hair-challenged men, and it's backed by science.
Our hope is to address a category that has been stagnant for 30 years. You know, when you think of 65 million American males have androgenetic alopecia, and actually very few of them get treated.
A potential new treatment for hair regrowth is showing promise in late trials.
This new treatment offers down the road a significant breakthrough because of its unique topical application and focus at the level of the hair follicle.
It's called clascoterone. It works by blocking hair-shrinking hormones right at the follicle, encouraging them to fill out again. One trial showed a more than 5-fold improvement in the targeted scalp area with none of the side effects, such as sexual dysfunction, seen with other hair growth treatments.
What we see here is a drug that's very effective. It's very safe in the studies we've done so far.
But we've yet to see how it compares to current products like Rogaine. And experts warn a so-called cure for baldness still remains elusive.
You really need to start treating this early when it starts to first develop, because if you don't, it will progress. And a lot of the treatments that we currently have do not address extensive hair loss.
Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we are at -2, but we do have some of that freezing rain coming down still this morning. In Saskatoon, -8. Again, we've been seeing some freezing rain overnight. Drive carefully out there today. By lunchtime in Regina, we'll still be at -2, -10 by lunch in Saskatoon, though, so definitely grab a jacket. And by final bell, we're getting a little bit colder for Regina, -7 this afternoon. We are going to be seeing some blowing snow and higher winds up to about 65 kilometers per hour in the Regina area. In Saskatoon, we're not seeing winds quite as strong, but still stronger than what we saw yesterday. In the afternoon, could be seeing them up to about 50 kilometers per hour. As final bell, we reach that temperature of -12. Over to the gas prices now, where we find the common price this morning at $129.9 in Regina. The lowest you might find, though, is $102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price $116.9. The lowest you might find is $105.9. As we turn our attention over to the farm markets, we find the street price of canola at $553.62 per ton, and the futures price at $626.20 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $282.27 per ton, and red spring wheat at $245.30 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading up this morning, it's now at 72.27 cents US. When we come back, the Saskatchewan Summer Games are headed to southern Saskatchewan. We'll tell you where when we come back.
Good morning. Welcome to your morning. It is 6:30. The roads are the big story. We will get to those in just a moment. There are closures to pay attention to, but we begin with the Liberals expected to vote against a Conservative motion to support a new pipeline today.
The Prime Minister claims to have changed his mind in a recent MOU. So will he be able to change the minds of fellow Liberals and vote for his own MOU and allow a pipeline to the Pacific?
The Conservatives plan to put forward the non-binding motion today. It will call for the support for one or more pipelines to export at least 1 million barrels of bitumen a day from Alberta to the BC coast. That motion is intended to mirror the wording of Ottawa's energy deal with Alberta, but a source tells CTV News the motion also ignores other critical areas of the Memorandum of Understanding, like climate requirements and First Nations co-ownership. That's why the Liberals say they plan to vote against it. Saskatchewan's first proposed uranium mine in more than 25 years is making its case to federal regulators this week. Denison Mines is front and center at a public hearing held by the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission being held in Saskatoon. The commission will hear presentations about Denison's Wheeler River project in the Athabasca Basin in northern Saskatchewan. Much of the focus is on Denison's consultation with First Nations and Indigenous groups, which date back more than 10 years. English River First Nation, which has a history of dealing with uranium companies for decades, says Denison is embarking on a different kind of relationship between industry and First Nations.
Is done so in a way where the English River First Nation has actually been consulted, and in this situation they have obtained our free, prior and informed consent.
Once the hearing closes, the commission will take up to 4 months to come to its decision on either approving or denying the company's ability to start construction. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened new tariffs on another Canadian industry.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to. If you ask me that, I'll say.
Making the comments after announcing a $12 billion tariff relief fund for American farmers. The U.S. is Canada's largest fertilizer market, accounting for over half of all total exports each year. A meeting of the G7 industry, digital and technology ministers is set to wrap up in Montreal today after new digital agreements were made with Europe.
It is a collaboration on digital sovereignty, which is the singularly most significant geopolitical issue facing us in this area.
And I think this format is...
An agreement with Germany was made to increase collaboration on AI, quantum technology, and infrastructure. Canada also signed 2 agreements with the EU, one focusing on adoption and responsible development of AI, and the other on cooperation on digital credentials. The College of Physicians and Surgeons of Saskatchewan is confirming that a man working as the head of wellness center in Moose Jaw, is not a licensed physician in the province. After receiving a letter of concern from the Ministry of Justice about services being offered at Goodnow Restorative Health Center, the college stated it does not have the authority to review the center effectively. It's been referred back to the province, saying legal updates would be needed if the government expects the college to address any unlicensed practice. The government has also asked the Financial and Consumer Affairs Authority to look into that clinic. Bombardier is launching a new high-speed luxury jet.
So this is the fastest airplane that exists on Earth right now, built here in Toronto. We should be very proud of that.
This is the Global 8000 aircraft. The new high-speed business jet has a range of 8,000 nautical miles and the lowest cabin altitude in business aviation production. In an interview with CTV News, Bombardier's CEO talked about his potential work with Saab to build fighter jets that could create 10,000 Canadian jobs. Demand for Christmas trees up in Saskatchewan. This Saskatoon store says many are opting for real trees this year. It's been a shortage across Canada, but they say they're doing okay here.
I would say it's maybe the same. I mean, we're getting new residents of Canada all the time too, so more people are buying Christmas trees. Unfortunately, there are shortages this year due to drought and fires that are happening around Canada. So we did see a shortage of about 100 trees that we were not able to get in this year. I think last year we brought in close to 900, and this year it's close to 800.
They anticipate selling all the trees before Christmas. Now to some dramatic video of a dangerous joyride on a Winnipeg street last week. Take a look at your screen. This is dash cam video. A truck swerving across the street and then rolling over, but it doesn't appear to end there. The driver managed to take off with the truck in poor condition. Winnipeg police say it was later abandoned. RCMP say the truck was stolen and they're not aware of any injuries. No arrests have been made because the investigation is ongoing. Yikes. The 2028 Saskatchewan Summer Games have been awarded to Weyburn. It'll bring together upwards of 1,800 young athletes from across the province in the summer of 2028. Weyburn last hosted in 2004. 13 sports represented. The 2028 games are up after 2026, which is happening in February. Flying Dust First Nation and the city of Meadow Lake. The road conditions are the big story on the day. Keely and Sawansky, there are some closures in the southeast corner.
Yeah, let's throw that up on the big board here. We're talking about some closures around Estevan this morning. So definitely take note of that for your commute around Weyburn all the way to Regina. We're seeing travel not recommended. We're also seeing that popping up around Herbert and areas south of Herbert, around Gravelburg as well. And then we are seeing reduced visibility all the way up through North Battleford with those partly covered roads there. Just really check the highway hotline before you're heading out on those highways today. We're seeing a lot of issues out there this morning. You're going to want to take it slow. We're still seeing some of that freezing rain in some parts of the province. Regina, we do see the system trying to push away from the city right now. We're at -2, some clouds up in the sky, and winds right now pretty calm, coming in at 13 kilometers per hour in Regina and 7 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon. Regina, though, going to be seeing those winds increasing later on into the afternoon. We're going to be seeing some blowing snow. Saskatoon seeing winds later on up to about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour, just not quite as strong as what we're going to be seeing far down in Regina and then down through Estevan as well. -8 right now to wake us up in Saskatoon. We are seeing some flurries in the area. Just something else to complicate your commute this morning. If you're wondering what we're expecting to see for the rest of the day, well, take a look at your screen right now. This is current right now, how the system is impacting us, but into the afternoon hours, we do see it trying to push away, but it just can't get there by the mid-afternoon there. Prince Albert still seeing some of those flurries. Saskatoon still seeing some into the mid-afternoon. Regina as well, and then Yorkton, of course, going to be seeing most of that snow this afternoon. Again, though, this isn't going to be just regular snow. This is going to be blowing snow across the highways, folks. We're expecting to see some very strong wind gusts this afternoon. We're also seeing right throughout those evening hours, right along that eastern border there with Manitoba, still seeing some of those flurries before that finally pushes out. We think we're going to be getting a break from those flurries, and then some more makes their way in down to that southwest corner first in areas around Swift Current tomorrow morning, and then into the afternoon right over top of Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Regina, and then over through Estevan as well. Yorkton, of course, going to be getting some more of those flurries tomorrow, and then again coming in for Thursday. So really for the next few days, we're not seeing a whole lot of breaks from those flurries. We got to be prepared for it as well, seeing temperatures drop later on in our work week here. Today's forecast, we're seeing seeing some nicer temperatures. 2 degrees for Swift Current with that wind, 2 degrees for Moose Jaw, 2 degrees for Weyburn, and 1 degree for Estevan. -8 for Yorkton. Again, that's where we're expecting to see most of those flurries today. -10 for Saskatoon today, -11 for Prince Albert, and -9 for the Battlefords.
Microsoft says it will build 2 regional data centers in Canada in a promise to uphold digital sovereignty here. It will spend $7.5 billion over the next 2 years, but could face challenges as Canada reassesses its deal with U.S. tech giants while the relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump is strained. Ottawa has pushed for more homegrown data centers in its push for digital independence. NVIDIA has received clearance from U.S. President Donald Trump to export its advanced artificial intelligence chips to China. In a Truth Social post late Monday, Trump said the U.S. will allow NVIDIA to ship its H200 products to approved customers in China and other countries. But China's regulators are discussing ways to limit permits for the chips, according to the Financial Times, citing 2 people familiar with the matter. And another twist, an Ontario man and a second man are being held for allegedly trying to smuggle $160 million U.S. worth of chips into China. Ben Lin Wan could be charged under U.S. export control laws. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
We're trying to bring compensation up to date along with our pension, the benefits, and also one of the most important items, job security.
As the busy holiday travel season gets underway, there is some turbulence ahead for travelers. Air Transat starts suspending flights as early as tomorrow as pilots get set to go on strike. They voted 99% in favor of going on that strike. For that and overall travel during the holidays, we're going to turn our attention to YQR CEO James Bogus. Thanks for doing this morning.
Hey, good morning and Merry Christmas.
Let's start where we just left off. Air Transat potentially going on strike. There are a lot of flights that go to Saskatoon and Regina to warm sun destinations. How bad is his impact?
Well, if you're connecting to an Air Transat flight, so specifically Montreal and Toronto, I know are big hubs for that airline, but we don't have any service in Saskatchewan from that particular carrier. So you'd pretty much have to be buying a flight to one of those cities first. So I would say the impact is minimal. All of our sun flying is typically done through, WestJet and Sunwing, or of course through an Air Canada connection. So this one's going to be minimal, but very impactful for other Canadians in other cities for sure.
We've heard a lot in the last few days about people getting stopped at different airports for different things in their bags. Maybe clear up the rules for us.
Well, with the holiday season now upon us and really vacation season, you may be going to another country. And you have to remember that just because something's permissible to travel with in Canada, it may not be when you're basically going over another border. So very important, if you're going to a place like Mexico, for example, you want to check limitations on common items. It could be alcohol or tobacco are very common. Certainly, even things like vaporizers are not permitted to travel over the border in a place like that. So be informed, check where you're going first to make sure you don't get caught up at the border and potentially pay a really big penalty.
It is Christmas time. As you mentioned, a lot of people are traveling with gifts. Is it important to travel with them unwrapped? We've talked about this before.
Well, for the airport, we want to make sure you know all the tips and obviously arrive early. Daryl, we know we got to come at least 2 hours before any flight at YQR, or even longer if you'd like to be extra cautious. But when it comes to travel and packing, we've got a great utility right on our front page at yqr.ca. You can plug in what it is you're traveling with to tell you, is it permissible in your carry-on or check bag? But a couple of common things, liquids and gels really throw people off. You're traveling this year and you're bringing only a carry-on bag. Be very mindful of that 100 milliliter limit per container. And for check bags, that's where you want to put your gifts, especially a wrapped gift, because if you don't, you might have to have it unwrapped at the security checkpoint.
It might be somebody next to you that's getting that gift, right?
That's right. That's right.
That is the problem. Parking has been an issue at several airports. You've got that mostly cleared up now.
Well, this is one of the few things in life that has not gone up in price at YQR or anywhere else. We're still $15 a day for the first 5 days and $7 a day thereafter. Plenty of parking. Plus, if we go into overflow, meaning our regular lots at capacity. We're going to give you a ride to and from the terminal building for you and your family. So we're welcoming you to park. We got block heater plug-ins, and of course, if you need a jump for your car, we even keep battery backups just in case.
What other things can we do to alleviate that holiday stress?
Well, you know, I did say already, but arriving early is the key message. I want to make sure folks know that security lines can get very busy at YQR, especially during peak rush. With the kids being off school after the 19th, for most of them, we're going to see a very, very busy week leading up to Christmas, so minimum of 2 hours. And also, you want to read in advance the packing tips. Check out our website. We've got them all published and posted. Take that extra 5 or 10 minutes. Really reduces your stress for travel.
The good news is they spend a lot of time on the in the terminal to make sure that you're entertained if you're there 2 or 3 hours earlier. James, thanks for doing this.
Thanks so much, and have a great Christmas.
You too.
Okay, let's head out now and check in with Janelle Lippi, who is spending her morning at Sticks and Doodles. Janelle, good morning.
Good morning, Jeremy. That's right, down at Sticks and Doodles today, and I've got Kyle with me now. Kyle, tons of Christmas ornaments. It's right around the corner, but you've got a special one with you. Let's take a look.
This is really special. So if you turned 67 this year and you've all of a sudden found yourself the most popular grandma on the block, or you're a teacher that has been forced to do math with only 8 numbers, 6-7 has completely taken over our lives. And it's interrupted classrooms, it's interrupted hockey games, and it's left the whole generation that grew up playing lawn darts saying kids aren't very smart these days. Now, I have to ask, though, you know, as annoying as you might think it is 6-7 so bad? We've had a year that's been really complicated, really emotional, and every day we go in the news and see something that we're supposed to read into, and all of a sudden, kids show up with some meme that we just laugh at. We sure thought so, which is why you can order today for your kid a 6-7 made in Saskatchewan ornament that can even come with their name added onto the ribbon. Perfect gift for your kids so that every year you can pull out your 6-7 ornament and remind them of the things that they once thought were funny. And if you really like your kids' teachers, these I don't know if I should say this on TV. These make really good teachers' gifts. There may be some teachers that aren't happy with me for saying that right now, though.
Well, these are a lot of fun. I'm sure lots of people will be sitting there watching and resonating with this. Now, Kyle, where are you guys located? How can people come in?
So you can order these off our website at sticksanddoodles.com. We're still shipping for Christmas. Or you can come into our store. We're at 2406 Victoria Avenue East.
Great. Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. All right, we will be back coming up in the next hour. We've got more Christmas ideas to give you guys.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. We will see you again in just a little while.
It's December 9th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Charlotte, who enters double digits today. We hope your 10th birthday is absolutely amazing, with lots of love from your mom, dad, and Rebecca. And a ton of birthday wishes also going out to Coralie today for her 38th birthday. Your whole family is sending you a lot of love today and said you will have a fabulous year ahead. Enjoy. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, make sure you send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. But make sure you send those in 1 day in advance.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
Good morning, Chase. What's happening?
Good morning. Also, a lot of traffic reports here today as it's pretty slick out there in a lot of areas. We're also talking about some online orders screw-ups. Have you had one yet? Have you had to return something before Christmas even hit? I wanted to do a gingerbread house this week, so went, ordered one, got here, opened up the package, and apparently I'm just really dumb and didn't read the description well enough. It was like a glass gingerbread house that was already made. It was real tacky. It was pink. It had LED lights on it, so had to take that one back and get an actual gingerbread one that could construct it. That one now looks equally as bad as the glass one. But you can share those stories, 54321. Text them in and then get ready. We'll shake that tree coming up after 7 o'clock for some prizes.
So I once cheaped out. Instead of buying a Fitbit, I bought a fitness activity tracker off of a website. And my wife said, so you bought a Fatbit. Good job. You bought a Fatbit. And it broke within like 3 days.
Damn fat bits. Yeah, live and learn, right?
That's right.
Jimmy Kimmel has signed a one-year contract extension that will keep him at ABC until at least May of 2027. He's been hosting Jimmy Kimmel Live since 2003 and is one of the longest-running late-night hosts in TV history. He's also hosted the Academy Awards and the reboot of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Disney is the parent company of ABC. Leonardo DiCaprio has been named Time's Entertainer of the Year. The Oscar-winning actor, who has received critical acclaim for his performance in this year's One Battle After Another, tells the magazine he loves his profession and has gotten starstruck a lot. David Byrne announced that he is bringing his Who is the Sky tour back to North America next year. The tour will start on April 4th, 2026 in Vancouver. Tickets go on sale to the general public on Friday. And happy birthday to Donny Osmond, who is 68 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Okay, so these videos are trending like crazy right now, and I love every one of them. Christmas inflatables in windstorms.
Yes.
Let me tell you. You my little boo thing, so I'll give a hoot what you do say, girl.
No matter what song you put with any of these, I will watch all of them.
I really think you need one of these in front of your house.
I need several, and just a fan, an industrial fan to blow it around like this. Look at it.
So I think people don't know, the viewers don't know that Daryl does a really good impersonation of all of these inflatables.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do that. That's true.
Sometimes in the office, he'll just go.
That's true. I need more space. I need to explore the space. We can't do it right now.
Come on. You can't put that out there and then not show it.
Oh, I have videos, Jeremy. I'll
there's
text
videos. I readily do it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
I can't wait to see them.
All right, well, check out this up-and-coming singer. So young, just belting out some Celine Dion.
Is she standing on the door that Leo wasn't allowed to be on? Is that what she's... It can hold two.
Was there space or not?
There was buoyancy. All right.
Amazing.
Play some more wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men. They're my favorite. We're back in just a minute. Welcome to Tuesday, December 9th.
Anytime we take one airline out of the mix, the others are impacted. So seat capacity on other airlines is going to be impacted if one airline goes down.
Air travel limbo. Passengers brace for possible disruptions amid a possible strike.
Is done so in a way where the English River First Nations actually been consulted, and in this situation they have obtained our free, prior and informed consent.
Saskatchewan's first proposed uranium mine in more than 25 years is making its case to federal regulators this week.
You put very severe tariffs on from coming into other countries, you'll be making your own fertilizer.
U.S. President Donald Trump proposing help for struggling U.S. farmers by considering a tariff on Canada. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
It is a happy Tuesday, but we got to make sure that everybody's aware of the road situation right now. So red on the map on the highway hotline indicates roads closed. That's everything around Estevan this morning. This is all because of freezing rain, Kayleen.
Yeah, freezing rain we saw coming in from Alberta overnight thanks to that low pressure system. We're still seeing a little bit of that. You're not really going to want to be heading out on those roads this morning if you can avoid it.
City streets, give yourself some extra time too. We don't need any fender benders. Let's get over to news. We'll get back to Kayleen's weather, which is very important in just a moment. We begin with Prime Minister Mark Carney saying changes are coming to return to office requirements for federal workers.
There will likely be different levels of return depending on seniority, depending on role, and obviously depending on capacity.
Prime Minister made the comment at the Mayor's Breakfast in Ottawa yesterday. The head of the Federal Workers Union says this is the first time she heard from Ottawa about this since a report came out last week. That report from La Presse says the government is considering bringing back servants to the office full-time by 2027. Prime Minister said there should be more clarity in the weeks ahead. Ottawa will give some doctors trained outside of Canada a fast track to permanent residency.
Many of these doctors are already treating patients in our communities. We cannot afford to lose them.
This express entry category is for international doctors with at least 1 year of Canadian work experience over the past 3 years. Doctors nominated will have their work permits processed within 14 days. There will be 5,000 spots available for doctors nominated by provinces and territories. This comes as a national survey shows there are almost 6 million Canadians without regular access to primary care. U.S. President Donald Trump threatening to impose new tariffs on Canadian fertilizer.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to. If you ask me, then I'll say.
The United States is Canada's largest fertilizer market and accounts for well over half of all fertilizer exports. In 2017, annual exports ranged from $3.2 billion to $4.5 billion, with potash exports making up the lion's share of that total. Air Transat passengers face another day of uncertainty, with pilots ready to walk off the job tomorrow. The two sides have been negotiating for nearly a year, and experts say the timing of this is no accident.
They're doing this because this is the period of time where Transat is making its most money. It's the busiest time of the year for Transat. Planes are full, fares are high.
Tell me something I don't know. The airlines are preparing to wind down operations ahead of the possible strike. 6 flights have been canceled so far. Air Transat flies tens of thousands of passengers on more than 500 flights every week. It scheduled 4 additional flights yesterday to bring back passengers who were initially supposed to return Wednesday, but are worried they could be stranded abroad because of the dispute. Locally, airport experts say not really a concern here.
Well, if you're connecting to an Air Transat flight, so specifically Montreal and Toronto, I know are big hubs for that airline, but we don't have any service in Saskatchewan from that particular carrier. So you'd pretty much have to be buying a flight to one of those cities first. So I would say the impact is minimal. All of our sun flying is typically done through, WestJet and Sunwing, or of course through an Air Canada connection. So this one's going to be minimal, but very impactful for other Canadians in other cities for sure.
You can see that full interview right now on our website. Let's turn attention to Saskatoon and Jeremy Dodge with a major drug bust in your city.
Yeah, Daryl, 6 people facing charges after this drug trafficking investigation by Saskatoon police. Here's a look at what was seized when members of SPS and the RCMP searched homes in Saskatoon in the West Industrial area, as well as the Rosewood, College Park, and Forest Grove neighborhoods, and Martinsville. Almost 2,000 grams of cocaine, MDMA pills, $17,000 cash, as well as weapons and drug trafficking supplies. 4 men aged 23 to 32 and 2 women aged 28 and 35 are facing a string of weapons and drug-related charges. A Saskatoon woman accused of killing her husband is heading to trial. 42-year-old Danny McGowan was found dead at the couple's Corman Park home August 23rd of last year. His wife, Lauren Bessie, was originally charged with first-degree murder. That's been reduced to second degree after a preliminary hearing under publication ban. Bessie has chosen to be tried at Court of King's Bench before a judge and jury. Trial dates are expected to be set in the new year. Daryl, we have an update on Regina's proposed compost facility.
Jeremy, after a 2.5-year saga attempting to build a new composting facility, the city of Regina has a new partner to answer the 5 W's. Here's Donovan Mace.
The city of Regina and Cowessess First Nation are partnering to get the city's new compost facility up and running.
This new facility is going to help the city reach its target of diverting 65% of our waste from our landfill.
This project will create skilled jobs, strengthening long-term economic sovereignty for Cowessess First Nation.
It comes after the city first planned in 2023 to build its food and yard waste processing plant near Pilot Butte, a location the town and its residents strongly opposed, ultimately leading to Regina Regina having to terminate the contract earlier this year.
We've had many conversations with lots of different food and yard waste processors, lots of different technologies. This proposal was incredibly strong, and the city was very excited to go down this path.
Cowessess, through its ownership of Oasis Organic Limited, plans to build the new plant about 3 kilometers east of Regina along Highway 33 on land the First Nation already owns near its solar farm and renewable energy storage facility. The plant will eliminate more than 17,000 tons of organic waste from entering the city's landfill, therefore extending its life and saving costs.
It's not a new technology. It's been around forever.
Oasis says the byproduct the plant produces, called biochar, also has important industrial uses.
It mitigates the use of commercial fertilizers. They do have a lot of chemical compounds, and our focus is to offset the use of the commercial fertilizer by using a more natural, regenerative product such as biochar.
Now, Oasis plans to begin construction on the new composting facility in the spring, with hopes it is fully operational by the fall of 2026. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
RCMP in Lumsden are investigating a fatal crash. Officers say a car and semi collided around 3:45 in the afternoon on Sunday on Highway 11 between Lumsden and Regina. The 29-year-old man driving the car was declared dead on scene. The driver of the semi was not hurt. Lumsden RCMP continue to investigate. No names have been released. Punishai RCMP also investigating a fatal collision, this one between a train and a pickup. It happened on December 7th at around 8:30 at night near Siemens, Saskatchewan. Officers say an early investigation determined a train and pickup collided on an off-road part of the train track. The 63-year-old woman driving the truck was declared dead at the scene. No injuries reported by the train staff. RCMP and CN police are investigating. No names have been released. Royal LePage is forecasting a bit of a reset for the Canadian housing market in 2026 as buyers move off the sidelines. The real estate company is forecasting modest price gains and an increase in sales activity. Home prices are projected to rise in major Canadian markets, with the exception of the Greater Toronto area and Greater Vancouver area. The company says solid market fundamentals, including lower interest rates, increased supply, and reduced competition, have created a more favorable environment for buyers. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with Pope Leo at the Vatican this morning.
Thank you very much. Good to see you again. Good to see you.
President Zelensky thanked the Pope for his humanitarian support for Ukraine. Pope Leo, for his part, called on talks to keep going toward just and lasting peace. President Zelensky yesterday met with European leaders on presenting a revised peace plan to the U.S. Ukraine maintains it will not give up any land to Russia. This new proposal could be given to the White House as early as today. A bomb explosion has killed more than 30 people, wounded 20 others in eastern Congo. The explosion comes less than a week after the U.S. brokered peace agreement was finalized in an attempt to stop the ongoing war between the Congolese armed forces and Rwanda-backed rebel group in the eastern part of the Congo. 2 Russian cosmonauts and an American astronaut safely back on Earth this morning after spending 8 months aboard the International Space Station.
Низкое обслуживание, РКК энергии открывает очень классная трансляция.
The crew landed in Kazakhstan after orbiting the Earth more than 3,900 times and traveling nearly 170 million kilometers over their 245-day mission. The Soyuz MS-27 spacecraft launched and docked with the space station on April 8th. This was Russia's 73rd spacecraft in its class to launch to the station since the year 2000 and the 156th Soyuz to fly since 1967. Hockey Canada has announced a training camp roster for the World Junior Hockey Championship team, and just one Saskatchewan player in the mix. Macklin's Cole Reshny will look to make the roster. He's currently playing for the University of North Dakota. Camp starts on Friday in Niagara Falls. The big story on the day is always the weather, especially when there's freezing rain in the mix. You got colors on the map, road closures on the streets.
Yeah, so we're not seeing favorable conditions out on the roads this morning. I do want to draw your attention down to the southeast corner. Estevan, we are seeing some of those roads reopening, so things are improving slightly down there, but still seeing some of that red. So we are still seeing some closures. The blue you're seeing around Gravelburg there, around Radville, Weyburn, all the way up through until Regina. Travel not recommended. So definitely not telling you what to do, but if you have the freedom to stay home today, maybe plan on that. Temperature is not looking so bad, though. We are seeing this color gradient look a little more favorable than what we saw yesterday, and that does mean some warmer temperatures down towards the south. Some areas even in the positives this morning. So again, it's not all bad, folks. Minus 15 to wake us up in La Ronge, minus 12 in Prince Albert, minus 11 in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, we just mentioned some positive temperatures. That's East End at 3 degrees right now. Swift Current waking us up at 2 degrees. 2 degrees in Assiniboia, 0 degrees though in Weyburn and Estevan. Now, of course, what everyone wants to see though is this radar and satellite showing that system that came in from Alberta overnight, bringing that freezing rain with it, bringing some flurries up through the central zone and the north as well. This is current, what you're looking at on the futurecast right now. So the amount of rain that we're seeing, those green colors and even the pinks indicating the freezing rain, that area is shrinking, especially into the afternoon hours. We see that part of the system taper off, but we are still talking about those flurries around Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Yorkton, and down through Regina this afternoon as well. And this isn't just going to be flurries. This is going to be blowing snow. We are expecting some pretty strong wind gusts this afternoon. Areas around Regina, Estevan, and Assiniboia going to be seeing the most of those winds, up to about 65 kilometers per hour. Yorkton, of course, going to be seeing some more of those flurries. We're actually expecting the most of that snow to be falling around that Parkland region, so be prepared for that. Some more snow on the way tomorrow. It does start in the morning hours down through the southwest corner, and then you can see around Lloydminster, we'll be seeing some more of those flurries as well, right over top of Prince Albert and Saskatoon, down through Regina in the afternoon tomorrow, and then exiting the province again right around that eastern border into Manitoba. And then, of course, we're talking about Thursday. It just seems like we can't get too much of a break here. Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Swift Current, and of course over through Regina and down through Estevan, that last little bit of the system on Thursday evening. So really today into Wednesday into Thursday, we're talking about snow. Here's a look at those wind gusts. We talked about Regina, Estevan, and Assiniboia. Really all those areas, though, that are lighting up in red on the screen. Expect things to be windy today. Your 7-day forecast showing that temperatures are going to be dropping down on Thursday evening overnight. And then Friday, it's going to be a cold one, minus 26. And that's just what the temperature is telling us. That does not include the wind chill. So it's going to be really cold on that day. Saturday, again, we're expecting to see some very cold temperatures, minus 24, and then some more snow on the way for Sunday, although temperatures do improve, expecting that high of minus 13. In Saskatoon, again, seeing cold temperatures starting on Thursday night, minus 29 overnight, and then minus 29 on Friday afternoon, minus 32 overnight, and then minus 27 for Saturday afternoon. Time now for a look at our rural forecast, where we're seeing temperatures not so bad. It's just the weather system that's been coming in through since it moved in from Alberta yesterday and into those overnight hours. So definitely drive careful out there this morning. Minus 9 in Wynyard this afternoon, minus 10 for Hudson Bay, minus 7 for Outlook with some more of those flurries this afternoon. Down towards the south, we're seeing stronger winds this afternoon, up to about 65 kilometers per hour. So that snow is going to be blowing across the highway. Stay home if you can today. 2 degrees for Rockland this afternoon, though 4 degrees for Coronach and minus 4 for Carlisle with those flurries. Let's take a look at Etonia, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. Minus 8 is where we'll peak this afternoon. Morning flurries tapering off for the later parts of the afternoon. Northwest winds coming in up to about 45 kilometers per hour.
Microsoft says it will build 2 regional data centers in Canada in a promise to uphold digital sovereignty here. It will spend $7.5 billion over the next 2 years, but could face challenges as Canada reassesses its deal with U.S. tech giants, while the relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump is strained. Ottawa has pushed for more homegrown data centers in its push for digital independence. NVIDIA has received clearance from U.S. President Donald Trump to export its advanced artificial intelligence chips to China. In a Truth Social post late Monday, Trump said the U.S. will allow NVIDIA to ship its H200 products to approved customers in China and other countries. But China's regulators are discussing ways to limit permits for the chips, according to the Financial Times, citing 2 people familiar with the matter. And another twist, an Ontario man and a second man are being held for allegedly trying to smuggle $160 million U.S. worth of chips into China. Ben Lin Wan could be charged under U.S. export control laws. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Well, in case you missed it, $75 million up for grabs in tonight's Lotto Max draw. I'd love to hear that sound. It's the big one. The jackpot has been climbing since October 28th, reaching a high that hasn't been seen since the summer. Also, 12 prizes of $1 million in tonight's draw. So if I'm not here tomorrow, you know what happened.
You know what? Even if I won this, I would still come to work because I love my job.
That's right.
So would I.
That's right. First thing I would do actually is buy Kayleen a lipstick that doesn't absolutely murder her mug. Look at how much this. Look at this. Where's the camera?
There are some lipsticks that advertise being transfer proof. Clearly, I don't own any of them.
That is not the one.
So can a beauty company sponsor me?
That's like you put that on your lips and you kiss somebody, right?
Yeah.
Like you leave the big print. That's what that is.
God forbid a woman likes to drink her tea in the morning.
No, I'm all for your tea. I'm all for your tea. I'm jealous of your shade, I guess. Question of the day, we're going to favorite baked goods at Christmas time. Everybody's got them in their office right now.
Yeah, some good answers so far. We have Gingerbread House coming in as the first answer. Of course, that's a classic. And although I don't love gingerbread, I like making the gingerbread houses, right? It's a classic activity. Lori saying my grandma's homemade fudge. Phil saying that favorite baked goods this time of year, date cake, haystackers, and shortbread cookies. I just got a delivery from my grandmother in the mail yesterday of some of her shortbread cookies. So
she mailed you cookies?
She mailed me cookies again. She did it about a month ago and then mailed me more from Vancouver.
Wonderful.
Oh, what do we do to deserve grandparents? Melody from Moose Jaw saying my favorite Christmas baked goodie is, I'm going to say it wrong, panettone. I want to think I'm saying it right.
Yep.
Someone can correct me. That's okay. And then my mama's homemade scuffles and whipped shortbread cookies. I'm now 38 and still look forward to them every year. So some good answers so far, but of course we want to hear from you. What is your favorite Christmas baked good? You can either text us at 10400, standard message rates may apply, or you can scan that QR code. We're going to be sharing some more answers in about 1 hour.
Hello there, Adam Scully with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for that, we're heading to Utah. Kings and the Mammoth 3-on-2 rush for LA. Check out Adrian Kempe. What a dangle. To score on the backhand, his 10th goal of the season, and he does it in style, earning the must-see moment from Monday. Now, tonight on TSN, we've got some college hoops for you. It's the Jimmy V Classic as Clemson takes on BYU. It all starts at 6:30 Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. That's all from the TSN newsroom. Have a great day.
Time for your morning mystery. You can play along at home. We got 3 clues. You got to guess what it is. Today it is a song. Clue number 1. Christmas song written for the 1944 movie Meet Me in St. Louis. Of course, Kayleen's seen that 94 times.
I love Judy Garland.
Judy Garland performs in it. That is clue number 2. And clue number 3, some of the original lyrics weren't all that merry. Faithful friends who were dear to us will be near to us no more.
See, I don't like when the third one gives it away. Because I would have known that one after 2. So the third one giving it away.
Well, you're special. What? The third one. I mean, they give you the lyrics.
I see you looking at me trying to copy my answer.
No, I know what it is. I just don't want to write all these words. Can I just do inflatable two-man dance instead?
Yeah, for sure. We'll allow that.
Okay, boards up. What do you got? I scribbled, have yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Is that what you guys wrote too?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what the answer is. The answer is, of course, have yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Original lyrics included have yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It may be your last.
Ooh.
The lyrics were changed when Garland complained that the lyrics were a little too sad to sing, no doubt.
She was a genius.
Not wrong.
That's today's morning mystery.
Behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people.
60 years ago this week, A Charlie Brown Christmas made its television debut in Canada on CTV. It was the first ever Peanuts animated special. Half the population in North America tuned in to watch.
Oh, everything I touch gets ruined.
The classic was then broadcast every year before becoming available on VHS, then DVD, then download. You can also stream it now on Apple TV.
It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love.
Let's take a look at this school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -2, -8 in Saskatoon. Both cities saw some of that freezing rain overnight, so definitely take your time on this commute this morning. By lunch in Regina, some blowing snow, still sitting at that temperature of -2. Winds coming in up to about 50 kilometers per hour at that time, and they are only going to increase from there into those later parts of the afternoon. 65 kilometer per hour winds, -7, still seeing that blowing snow. Lunchtime in Saskatoon, -10. Winds are getting stronger, just not as strong as what we're seeing down towards the south. -12 by the final bell. Winds coming in at that time up to about 50 kilometers per hour. We do have a low chance of seeing some final few flakes at that time as well. Let's turn our attention over to the gas prices now in Regina, where we can find the common price this morning at $129.9. The lowest you might find is $102.9 in Saskatoon. The common price this morning, $116.9. The lowest you might find, $105.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola at $553.62 per ton this morning, and the futures price at $626.20 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now sits at $282.27 per ton, and red spring wheat at $245.30 per ton. And the Canadian dollar now trading up this morning. It's at 72.27 cents US. Ahead in news, federal regulators begin the next steps for a proposed uranium mine in the province. Stay with us for the details.
Today, welcome to your morning. Time for headlines. Sources tell CTV News Liberal MPs will vote against a motion today that calls for the federal government to support an oil pipeline. That motion explicitly calls for the support of pipelines enabling the export of at least 1 million barrels a day of low-emission Alberta bitumen from a deep water port to the BC coast to Asia markets. The wording is similar to the Memorandum of Understanding signed last month between Ottawa and Alberta, but does not include the measures Alberta has agreed to and in terms of environmental regulations. According to the source, the motion ignores critical elements of the MOU, such as industrial carbon pricing and co-ownership opportunities for Indigenous peoples. Saskatchewan's first proposed uranium mine in more than 25 years is before federal regulators this week. Keenan Sorokhan reports.
The Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission is spending the week in Saskatoon to learn all it can about Denison Mine's proposed uranium mine at the southwestern edge of the Athabasca Basin in northern Saskatchewan.
It's a chance to get everyone together for the commission to hear what it is that people are concerned about and be able to consider that in making their decision.
The quasi-judicial hearings present the final step for the Wheeler River project to receive federal approval and begin construction. And getting to this point has taken roughly 10 years of careful consideration, work, and meaningful consultation with local groups like English River First Nation.
Our history with the uranium industry partners has been one that I liken to a arranged marriage, where our nation never really got a choice as to whether those uranium mines got built or not.
But that's not the case with Denison. Hunt says Denison had them along for every step of the way and earned a true partnership.
The English River First Nation has actually been consulted, and And in this situation, they have obtained our free, prior, and informed consent.
From protecting land and treaty rights and eventually evolving talks all the way to education, employment, and investment into the community, Hunt says Denison has been an example of how industry can work with Indigenous people.
This is the beginning of a different kind of industry and First Nation relationship.
After the hearings, the commission will take up to 4 months to come to its decision. If approved, Denison will create hundreds of jobs over 10 years of the mine's operations, with the goal of supplying clean power to millions of homes for generations to come.
It's often overlooked that resource development does not need to be at odds with climate change objectives, and this is a unique project that shows that we can do both of those things at the same time.
Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A meeting of G7 industry, digital and technology ministers set to wrap up today in Montreal after a new digital agreement was made with Europe.
It is a collaboration on digital sovereignty, which is the singularly most significant geopolitical issue facing us in this area.
And I think
an agreement with Germany was made to increase collaboration on AI, quantum technology, and infrastructure. Canada also has signed 2 agreements with the EU, one focused on adoption and responsible development of AI, and the other on cooperation on digital credentials. Family, friends, and the aviation community gathered Saturday to remember a war veteran who survived multiple plane crashes and lived to the age of 103. Stacey Hine on his life and legacy.
To imagine I flew one of those. Reginald Harrison leaves a legacy of honor, humility, and bravery. The veteran pilot, nicknamed Crash, flew 19 missions in the Second World War and survived 4 plane crashes.
Very few survived, even in training, let alone the war. And having 19 missions in enemy territory and surviving 4 plane crashes is absolutely remarkable.
Harrison grew up on a farm near Pheasant Forks, about 125 kilometers northeast of Regina. He watched planes fly overhead as he plowed the fields, inspiring him to join the Air Force. He earned his wings in April 1943 and was posted to Croft, England. His first crash came after a bomb exploded on the landing strip. He was seriously burned, but returned to service 2 months later. On his unlucky 13th mission, an engine failure led to an emergency landing. Another close call. That's when he earned the nickname Crash, a name he would live up to 2 more times.
He says he fooled the Grim Reaper 4 times, and his commanding officer said, "I don't think you're going to make it the 5th time, Reg. You better go home."
After returning to Canada, he met his wife Jean and started a family. He worked with the Veterans Land Service for nearly 4 decades and spent his free time curling, golfing, and gardening. Later in life, he began sharing his story publicly.
Having somebody that we could speak to about what it was like on D-Day, he could tell us that personally. He had all these stories.
At age 100, Harrison returned to the skies in a Tiger Moth, the first plane he ever learned to fly. This was his reaction at the time. It was really strange. It was wonderful to be up after 81 years. Harrison died on November 20th at age 103.
Men like Reg don't come around very often, and we all have to be grateful that they did.
Harrison's story lives on as a symbol of service and sacrifice. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The 2028 Saskatchewan Summer Games are heading to Weyburn. It'll bring together upwards of 1,800 young athletes from all over the province in the summer of 2028. Weyburn was the last host in 2004. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture. Temperature-wise, it's not so bad outside, but the roads, I think you can skate to work.
Yeah, so we did see a lot of precipitation overnight. That included flurries, that included freezing ice pellets and freezing rain, and then, of course, just regular rain. All of this to say the highway hotline is not pretty this morning, folks. We're still seeing closures down through Estevan. The area of the travel not recommended has actually expanded since we last took a look at it. So around Caronport through Moose Jaw, all the way down through Gravelburg, of course, Weyburn, all the way up through Regina, travel not recommended. So really, it's just not the best day to be heading out. If you have the luxury of being able to stay inside with a good book today, do it. That is what I recommend. Temperatures, though, as Daryl just said, not so bad. We're actually seeing some more of those light blue colors than what we saw yesterday on the screen. screen, and that indicates that we're actually into the positive temperatures in some areas, just not up north where we're seeing the colder temperatures right now. -24 in Stony Rapids, -12 in Prince Albert, -12 in Melfort, -11 to wake us up in Spiritwood. But again, down towards the south, seeing some positive temperatures, 3 degrees in East End, 2 degrees for Assiniboia and Swift Current, 1 degree in Moose Jaw right now, -2 in Regina, and -8 in Saskatoon. The radar and satellite, though, this is what everybody is talking about this morning. So we're talking about that low pressure system that moved in from Alberta overnight. What we're talking about going forward, though, is going to be the last little bit of that. We're seeing some more flurries through Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Yorkton later on this morning through Regina. Into the later parts of the afternoon, we see it trying to move away, but we really just see that green color with the rain disappearing and seeing the flurries still following around Yorkton. Once we see that one finally make its way out of the province and into Manitoba, we are talking about another system still coming in from Alberta. It's going to start first with some flurries down in the southwest, and then we're going to be seeing some, of course, around Lloydminster as well. This is tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon. Prince Albert going to be seeing some more of those flurries, Saskatoon down through Regina, and then the last bit of this system is really going to be clinging to the entirety of the eastern border with Manitoba. Thursday, we talk some more about flurries, so this is at about 12:15 p.m. We see it around Prince Albert, Saskatoon, and down through Swift Current. And then the last piece of the system is going to be impacting areas down through Estevan again. Today's wind gusts looking quite increased from what we saw yesterday as well. So all those areas lighting up in red towards the south. So areas around Regina, Estevan, and Assiniboia could be seeing winds up to about 65 kilometers per hour. 7-day forecast showing that temperatures are remaining not so bad until Thursday overnight. We see temperatures really take a dip down to -26 overnight on Thursday, and that's going to remain the high on Friday afternoon for Regina. On Saturday afternoon, -24, but then temperatures do improve on Sunday when we're expecting some more flurries to be on the way. So if it's not one thing, it's the other, right? In Saskatoon, again, seeing temperatures drop on Thursday evening down to about -29, and that's going to continue into Friday afternoon with that sunshine. -32 overnight, though, -27 on Saturday afternoon, and again, seeing temperatures get better on Sunday with some more flurries.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
All right, it's time now for the cutest part of the week. It's our check-in with the Regina Humane Society. Bill Thorne, of course, joining us for that. You have our pet of the week. Who are they?
Well, this is Clyde. And this is his sister, and you guessed it, her name is Bonnie. They're about 8 weeks old. I was going to bring Clyde on. I thought I'd try both of them. I'm kind of starting to think, what have I done? Because I've got two very feisty kittens in a very small room here. But they're, as I say, about 8 weeks old, and really, I mean, they're typical kittens. They've been playing around here on the floor for the last minute or so and jumping all over each other and playing tag and all that kind of stuff. We'll see if we can get a little close up there. This is Bonnie on this side here, and this is Clyde over here.
Oh, and they look like they have a lot of energy. Could they go to a home together or separate?
Absolutely, they could. They don't need to, though. They'll be quite happy on their own if that's the case. But right now, they came in together, so they're staying together right now in one kennel space. But it's good because it helps them burn off some energy, which they need to be doing yet. They haven't had breakfast yet, so I think they're a little bit feisty on that account too. But yeah, no, they make fun pets. But be prepared. They're going to want to play. They're going to want to climb things. They're going to be ripping around your house for a while. They will calm down as they get older. But kittens are very, very fun. But they will get into things, so be ready for that. Lots of toys to play with and places to scratch.
Two very honorable kittens, and we hope they find their forever homes very soon. Let's turn our attention now to fundraising efforts, because we know that this is a very busy time of year for really any organization when it comes to fundraising. What do you have going on right now?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Gillian. It's a very busy time for us. Our major campaign right now is our holiday catalog, which lists a number of items that you can purchase to donate. That's anything from equipment to food to different things that we need in the shelter pretty much every day, or a monetary donation if you like. You can access that on our website. There's a big box on the homepage that you can click on. We also have Sorry, there's some fun going on over here. Also, our Holiday 50/50 is on. You can purchase tickets for that on our website as well. Last I looked, it was about $8,000, and we've got till December 23rd to purchase tickets for that, and the draw will be made on Christmas Eve, so the winner will take home half of what the jackpot is at that point.
And I also saw online that for Christmas, if people want to avoid the snail mail, there's an option with the Regina Humane Society to send an e-card that also benefits the animals.
Yeah, we've had those for a number of years. Sorry. I can't help but laugh at Bonnie here. She's ripping around. Anyway, yes, we have e-cards on there for all different occasions throughout the year, from birthdays to Christmas to Father's Day, Mother's Day, graduation. You can click on there, and you can send a card to someone. And it's minimal cost, a $5 donation or more if you like, and you can send them a card and recognize that in their name you've helped the Regina Humane Society, and of course that means helping little guys like Clyde here as well.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning, Bill. Of course, you can head on over to the Regina Humane Society's website if you want more information on how their fundraising efforts are going, how you can donate, and of course, how you can adopt.
Here's what's happening in our community. A tea and bake sale Wednesday, December 10th at 12:30 p.m. at the Radville Marion Healthcare Auxiliary, 306-869-7688. And get your two-step on with the Club 66 social dance December 12th at 7:30 p.m. at the Regina 55 Plus Community Center. That's 2134 Winnipeg Street. Call 306-529-6381 for more. Nearly New Year's celebration happens Saturday, December 27th at 5 p.m. at the Sacred Heart Parish Center in Ituna. Call 306-531-7181. If you'd like your event shown here, please email us at reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca at least 2 weeks in advance.
The incident happened on November the 14th, 2025 at around 11 o'clock in the evening on the 1800 block of Osler Street. A man walked up to a parked trailer and lit it on fire. The suspect is described as a man wearing bright red runners, black pants, a black backpack, a white, red, and black jersey with a black vest over top. The man also had a red face covering and a red and white toque. If you know who this man is, call Crime Stoppers.
I'm Constable Dana Adams with the Regina Police Service. Did you know that Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 cash reward for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina? Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, and Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing. Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, let's head out and check back in with Janelle Lipai at Sticks and Doodles this morning.
Good morning. We are back down at Sticks and Doodles this morning, and I've got Kyle with me. Now, Kyle, behind us are some not quite safe for work ornaments, but very popular ones at that.
Yes, so if you are offended easily, which we're all from Saskatchewan, so we're probably not offended easily, but this might not be the ornaments for you. So behind us, we have our naughty ornament collection, and I've been told by CTV I'm not allowed to show these on CTV. They're not that bad. They mostly just show various gingerbread ornament people that really, really love each other, along with a few ornaments that have F words. So they are not that bad. We are still a family-friendly store, but these are huge gifts for Secret Santas. So if you're doing office Christmas gift exchanges and you want to really make somebody laugh, or like, you know, you got a boss that uses certain words too often, this is where you want to come to see these ornaments. There's lots of family-friendly ones, but this spot here, this is is where people laugh, and we will actually get couples that come in here and they'll stand here for 10-15 minutes just howling with laughter, which is what we love to hear about the ornaments that we make.
Oh, that's fantastic. Lots of fun over here. Now, what does the Christmas season look like for you guys so far?
Yeah, so we've got 2 weeks left until Christmas. We are still shipping all over Saskatchewan. We have options to add names to ornaments still, so if you're looking for that one-of-a-kind yearly ornament, we've got it. Still have lots of 6-7 ornaments left, which have been the big one this year. And our store is open here in Regina, and you can still order online.
Awesome, Kyle. Well, thank you so much. This is a lot of fun, but we're not done yet. We will be back very soon with a couple other Christmas ideas.
It's December 9th. We have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Charlotte, entering double digits. Your 10. Happy birthday from Mom, Dad, and Rebecca. And tons of birthday wishes going out to Coralie today for her 38th birthday. Your whole family sending you a lot of love today and said you will have a fabulous year ahead. Kayleen especially appreciates your Mean Girls shirt. Milestones. If you have one coming up, you send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. Don't send it to any other email address or we won't get it. Or you just take out your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, send them in at least a day in advance.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates. Because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
All right, let's throw things over to our radio friends at Pure Country 92.7. You giving some stuff away, Chase, or what?
We just shook the tree. Nicole got herself some Giant tickets, $100 to Northgate Mall, $100 to Sherwood Co-op. The next shake of the tree coming up this afternoon with Brandon at 4:40. We'll have some more opportunities for you to win your way to Country Thunder this morning, too. And, of course, we're going to talk, if you haven't done your Christmas shopping, you might just want to leave it because there's a new end of days prediction, which could get you out of some holiday shopping. So that's the silver lining there. We do have our Country Minute on the way to a new romance for Keith Urban, perhaps. And which country duo is calling it quits, but that does mean we'll get some solo albums. We'll get you all the details coming up in 10.
All right, Chase, thanks very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, Daryl. We'll see you tomorrow.
Scammers impersonating celebrities are increasingly targeting music fans. A study by the social media security company Spikers, reported by Billboard, says scammers go after Swifties with fake tickets and bogus merchandise, create clone accounts to target Sabrina Carpenter's fan base with fake meet and greet offers and pre-sale links, and Billie Eilish impersonators have run fake live streams and giveaways. The report says hackers posing as celebs made $5.3 billion this year with online scams.
This is the end of the line. Not for you.
Leonardo DiCaprio is having a great week. The same day he was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for One Battle After Another, Time named DiCaprio its 2025 Entertainer of the Year. He'll be profiled in the magazine's December 29th issue on newsstands December 19th.
London, make some noise!
He's like the national hero. He's like one of the biggest ambassadors for Nigeria.
WizKid Long Live Lagos looks at the rise of the Grammy-winning Nigerian singer-songwriter and how his success in the U.S. has made him a beacon of hope back home. The documentary debuts Thursday on HBO Max. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's a lot of pressure.
I will never get tired of these videos trending like crazy, and I think it's probably because I clicked on a few that I get so many more now. Christmas inflatables, cotton windstorms.
Let me tell you.
It's probably the most tame song that they've put with it too. Usually it's like something more hardcore rap.
I like that it's just right by a road where people can just casually drive by and go, what is going on?
It's so good.
Like even the way the arms flail about is perfect.
Yeah. Take that video, put any song you want to it, and it is magic.
Yeah.
Just magic.
It's great.
You could spend a lot of time on that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, check out this up-and-coming singer. Look at how cute she is, and what a voice.
Man, how old do you think she is?
Oh, gosh.
Sub 5.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
She is 27 years young.
But to even know all of the words, she got all dressed up for her performance.
She's dragging somebody else onto the door so it can fit 2 people. That's wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Timeout. We got your road update coming up after this short timeout. It's Tuesday, December 9th.
Anytime we take one airline out of the mix, the others are impacted. So seat capacity on other airlines is going to be impacted if one airline goes down.
Air travel limbo. Passengers brace for possible disruptions and delays.
Will, in the spirit of Christmas, Liberals admit they were wrong, vote for their own wording, approve a pipeline, and get rid of the tanker ban.
The Conservatives are looking to pressure the Liberals by putting their support for a pipeline to a vote.
Is done so in a way where the English River First Nations actually been consulted, and in this situation they have obtained our free, prior, and informed consent.
And a hearing is underway on the first proposed uranium mine in more than 25 years in this province. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
We see those road closures continue to creep up. We'll take you right to our smart board, show you the red lines on the map. And the red lines, of course, mean closures. They are expanding a little bit, Kayleen.
Yeah, they're expanding a little bit north. Areas around Weyburn as well. Still travel not recommended. And the travel not recommended has expanded through Moose Jaw as well, all the way through until Regina. So really, if you can stay home today, do.
Yeah, if you don't have to travel on the highways, for sure. Snow covered on Highway 1 all the way getting closer to the Manitoba border as well. Let's get to news. We'll get back to Keelan's weather in just a moment. The Prime Minister says changes are coming to return to office requirements for federal workers.
There will likely be different levels of return depending on seniority, depending on role, and obviously depending on capacity.
Prime Minister made the announcement yesterday in Ottawa. The head of the Federal Workers Union says first time they heard of it comes after a report from La Presse that says the government is considering bringing back public servants to the office full-time by 2027. The Prime Minister says there should be more clarity in the weeks ahead. Another day of uncertainty for Air Transat passengers, with pilots ready to walk off the job tomorrow.
A little bit nervous, but I'm hoping everything will be okay and we'll be home next Monday.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not really much we can do about it.
The airline is preparing to wind down operations ahead of a possible strike. Said it would be suspending all service today. However, that has not yet happened. 6 flights have been canceled so far. Negotiations have been dragging on for a long time. Local officials say it shouldn't have too much of an impact here.
Well, if you're connecting to an Air Transat flight, so specifically Montreal and Toronto, I know are big hubs for that airline, but we don't have any service in Saskatchewan from that particular carrier. So you'd pretty much have to be buying a flight to one of those cities first. So I would say the impact is minimal. All of our sun flying is typically done through, WestJet and Sunwing, or of course through an Air Canada connection. So this one's going to be minimal, but very impactful for other Canadians in other cities for sure.
Ottawa will give some doctors trained outside of Canada a fast track to permanent residency.
Many of these doctors are already treating patients in our communities. We cannot afford to lose them.
This express entry category is for international doctors with at least a year of Canadian work experience. Doctors nominated will have their work permits processed within 14 days. 5,000 spots open for this, nominated by territories, provinces alike. This comes after a national survey showing there are almost 6 million Canadians without regular access to primary care. The U.S. president has threatened new tariffs on another Canadian industry.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to. If you ask me then, I'll say I just want...
Trump making the comments after announcing a $12 billion tariff relief fund for American farmers. The U.S. is Canada's largest fertilizer market, accounting for over half of all exports each year. Across the country, reports show 6 in 10 Canadian nurses experienced violence in the workplace last year. In Saskatoon, the violence and aggression appears to be escalating, prompting calls from the front lines to address safety concerns. Alison Bamford with what nurses are facing.
Inside this Saskatoon hospital, nurses say they've been threatened with knives, guns, needles, even an inert hand grenade. And just yesterday, someone walked in with a shank.
Nobody goes to work to risk their personal safety, and nobody should have to be asked to risk their personal safety.
Speaking at a press conference held by the Saskatchewan NDP, registered nurse Melissa McGilvery says she's losing co-workers who are too scared to go to work. She's joining calls from the official opposition to have metal detectors installed at the hospital.
People are crying every single day at work, and it's not right.
The breaking point for some came late last month when a psychiatric patient brought a sawed-off shotgun and 3 concealed knives into St. Paul's Hospital. A nurse described the incident in an anonymous letter written to the union, saying the patient used a knife to stab a window and threatened to sexually assault and kill one of the staff.
I encourage nurses, if you experience any kind of violence, we press charges now. Because people need to know it's not acceptable. It can't be normalized.
In addition to metal detectors and increased security, the Saskatchewan Union of Nurses says there needs to be a culture shift in the way nurses are viewed.
If you point a gun at a cop, you're going to jail. If you do it at a firefighter, it's the same thing. But if you do it to a nurse, they ask what we could have done differently to de-escalate the situation.
The health authority says it's piloting weapons detectors at another Saskatoon hospital, which could lead to similar technology in more city ERs in the future. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A major drug bust in Saskatoon we've been following. Jeremy Dodge has the latest on that. JD, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. 6 people are facing charges following that drug trafficking investigation by Saskatoon police. Here's a look at what was seized when members of SPS and the RCMP searched homes in Saskatoon in the West Industrial area, as well as the Rosewood, College Park, and Forest Grove neighborhoods and Martinsville. Almost 2,000 grams of cocaine, MDMA pills, $17,000 cash, as well as weapons and drug trafficking supplies. 4 men aged 23 to 32 and 2 women aged 28 and 35 are facing a string of weapons and drug-related charges. The Prince Albert Firefighters Association is asking the city for additional fire halls. The association says this is the first year in the department's history it has responded to more than 2,000 calls. Prince Albert Firefighters Association President Ben Hunter says the crew's workload has increased in recent years, and the city needs more than the 1 fire hall it has now. He says the increase in calls is partially due to the city expanding, but the fire department has also been dealing with more calls related to homelessness.
We have a problem with, it's not just a local problem, it's a regional problem, it's a countrywide problem with the unhoused, and we do a lot of outside fires, we do a lot of dumpster fires. It's just all our work has significantly increased. There's another.
The city says it is aware of the issue and additional fire halls are in the works, but due to financial constraints, the projects will not be moving forward for a few years. Daryl, RCMP investigating a fatal crash near Lumsden.
Jeremy, officers say a car and semi collided around 3:45 in the afternoon Sunday on Highway 11 between Lumsden and Regina. The 29-year-old man driving the car was declared dead on scene. The driver of the semi was not hurt. Lumsden RCMP continue to investigate. No names have been released. Punishai RCMP investigating a fatal collision between a train and a pickup truck. This one happened on December 7th at around 8:30 at night near Siemens, Saskatchewan. Officers say an early investigation determined that a truck and a pickup collided on an off-road part of the train track. The 63-year-old woman driving the truck was declared dead at the scene. No injuries were reported by train staff. RCMP and the CN Police Service are investigating. No names released there either. RCMP and Dillon have seized drugs and weapons on a residence on the Buffalo River Dene Nation after executing a search warrant. They had the help of the Meadow Lake Crime Reduction Team on Thursday, arresting 2 men at a residence. Officers found and seized about 484 grams of cocaine, a large sum of cash, a loaded handgun that was missing a serial number, by the way, and a rifle. Dang Dang and Qual Qual, both of Calgary, face multiple charges of weapons and drugs. They're scheduled to appear in court in La Loche yesterday. The city of Regina has a new partner and a different location selected for its composting facility. This has been a point of contention in this area. A new agreement has been reached between the city and Oasis Organics, which will build and operate Regina's new food and yard waste processing plant. It'll be about 3 kilometers east of the city along Highway 33. That land is owned by the Cowessess First Nation. Oasis is owned by the First Nation, announced the project coming online after the city was forced to terminate a previous contract which sought to build a place near Pilot Butte.
This new facility is going to help the city reach its target of diverting 65% of our waste from our landfill. The city's landfill is, the city's largest emitter of methane gas, which is a powerful climate change gas, much stronger than carbon dioxide.
This project will create skilled jobs, strengthening long-term economic sovereignty for Cowessess First Nation, and bring millions of dollars of investment into the region.
All right, so Oasis says the process will be odor-free and have little impact on nearby residents. In a dramatic twist, just days after Netflix announced it reached a deal to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery for over $72 billion US, Paramount has swooped in with a hostile takeover bid for the company. Paramount says it is going straight to shareholders with an offer of $30 US per share. The Netflix deal was valued at just over $28 per share. However, the Paramount bid would also include Warner Brothers cable TV assets such as CNN, which Netflix does not include in their deal. Paramount criticized the streaming giant's offer, saying it exposes shareholders to a long approval process with an uncertain outcome. And despite a suspension and ongoing feud with Donald Trump, the U.S. president, ABC has signed late-night comedian Jimmy Kimmel to a 1-year contract extension, keeping him on the air till at least 2027. Kimmel was suspended in September, as you remember, for comments he made. As the holiday season draws near, many people are looking for real Christmas trees, and as Hallie Mandrick reports, some local vendors are seeing demand.
After only a week into December, McKay Tree Farm's Lawson Heights location is nearly sold out.
Ours are fresh cut right from North Battleford, McKay Tree Farm, and he fresh cuts them, so they smell awesome. Anyway, they go pretty fast. So we're running out, so if anybody needs a tree, but they better come in the next few days.
And they aren't the only business seeing the demand. Dutch Growers Saskatoon shared, while the combination of drought and fires across much of Canada in the summer has resulted in some Christmas tree shortages, they're still seeing a successful season.
We usually bring in Fraser fir and balsam fir. Due to shortages with Christmas trees, we were only able to bring in Fraser fir this year, but usually we bring up to 800 Christmas trees, and they usually sell out completely, so it's good.
Both businesses say the demand they've seen this year is on par with previous holiday seasons.
Honestly, I would say it's maybe the same. I mean, we're getting new residents of Canada all the time too, so more people are buying Christmas trees.
Berger adding that it's encouraging to see folks carry on an old tradition while also creating new traditions.
Everybody used to have a real Christmas tree back in the olden days, and it's just, some people have really great traditions. Like one family, they pick up a huge tree and they carry it home. And he had Christmas music as he was walking.
Both Dutch Growers and McKay Tree Farm shared that they anticipate selling all of their trees before Christmas. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
World Junior Hockey Championship roster for training camp is out. One Saskatchewan player in the mix. That's Macklin's Cole Reshny, who is currently playing for the University of North Dakota. Camp starts Friday in Niagara Falls. Of course, the tournament starts on Boxing Day. Let's get over to the Weather Center. The temperatures aren't the problem, right? The freezing rain was the problem, and the highways are a mess.
Because it's going to be one thing or the other, right? Down towards the south, that is where we're seeing the worst of the road conditions this morning. That's where we saw most of that freezing rain and some frozen ice pellets shifts coming down throughout those overnight hours. So travel is not recommended this morning in areas around Herbert, through Ogama, all the way through until Weyburn, up through Regina. And then, of course, we're seeing some of those closures down through Estevan still in effect, up through Saskatoon, and, of course, through North Battleford. Of course, we're seeing partly covered and covered roads as well, and reduced visibility. Check that highway hotline if you're heading out there this morning. Although, if I can recommend you to stay home, I would. Temperatures, though, as Daryl just said, not really the issue right now. We are seeing some more blue down towards the south than what we saw yesterday. That does indicate some nicer temperatures. It's up through the north. We're still seeing those cold temperatures. So minus 24 right now for Stony Rapids, minus 15 in La Ronge, minus 20 in South End. Melfort at minus 12 right now, Hudson Bay at minus 11. And then some more of those positive temperatures down towards the south. 2 degrees in East End, 1 degree for Swift Current and Assiniboia. That's slightly down from what we were seeing just a few minutes ago. 0 degrees right now in Moose Jaw, Weyburn, and Estevan. Saskatoon, though, at minus 8 and minus 2 in Regina. The radar and satellite, of course, though, this is what everyone is talking about this morning. It's that low pressure system that moved in overnight from Alberta, bringing with it some flurries, freezing rain, and rain, of course. This is current right now on our futurecast, so we're seeing the amount of rain going down in the southeast corner there. We're going to continue to see that sort of disappear, those green colors, as we look towards the afternoon, but we're still talking about those flurries. Yorkton likely going to be seeing most of that snow falling into the afternoon hours, and then we see it ending right along that eastern border with Manitoba there. Tomorrow, we're looking forward to some more snow coming into the picture. We're not necessarily talking about that freezing rain, though. It's going to start down in that southwest corner in the early morning hours, continuing on into the afternoon. It heads right over top of Prince Albert, Saskatoon, down through Regina, and then, of course, right along that eastern border again until it makes its way into Manitoba. Then we're talking about Thursday where, yes, surprise, surprise, some more snow on the way. Swift Current going to be seeing most of that snow, but yes, we'll also see some up through Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and down through Regina, finishing off down through Estevan. So be prepared for that for the next few days. And it's not just going to be regular snow, it's going to be blowing snow, especially down towards the south, where we could be seeing wind gusts this afternoon up to about 65 kilometers per hour in areas around Regina, Estevan, and Assiniboia. So be prepared for the winds as well. Temperatures not so bad until Thursday evening. That's when we see them really drop down to about minus 26, and then that is going to remain the high for Friday afternoon. Minus 28 overnight on Friday. Saturday, minus 24 in the afternoon, minus 26 overnight. Conditions improving with the temperatures on Sunday, but some more flurries on the way. In Saskatoon, more of the same. We see the temperatures drop to about minus 29 on Thursday, minus 29 on Friday afternoon with that sunshine. Saturday, minus 27, and Sunday, some more flurries on the way.
On this day in 2004, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled Parliament could redefine marriage to include same-sex couples. December 9th, 1990, Pope John Paul II canonized Marguerite d'Urville, founder of the Grey Nuns. She was the first person born in Canada to be canonized. December 9th, 1901, the first Nobel Prize ceremony was held in Stockholm, Sweden.
A miniature Christmas village is the place to be in Winnipeg this season.
It takes me about 60 hours to set up, so I got to plan ahead. Once you start building, then you get into it. But it's that first 10, 15 hours of just unpacking and sorting and organizing.
No kidding.
This is a labor of love for Gabriel Ayotte. Says his wife first started doing the village about 30 years ago. There's about 450 people in the town playing hockey, fishing, doing the Christmas shopping. There's a running train. There's 450 trees, hundreds of twinkling lights, and 63 buildings. And he says it could get bigger in the future.
Every video we've had in the last couple of weeks has made me feel like I'm lazy because I'm not constructing some sort of elaborate village thing, or just not talented talented.
But you have, I believe, 6 trees up in your house right now?
Yeah, I didn't get to decorate not a one of them.
You're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Not a one of them.
Me and my one singular Christmas tree will just take our underachiever badge.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. How many trees do we got in here? 2, 3, 4, 5?
Oh, yeah.
We got several in here. Question of the day, we're talking favorite Christmas baked goods, and people are flying their texts into the text line.
Yeah, and this has made me go to and from the newsroom this morning to get some of the Christmas baking that we have, because it's just making you hungry for some sweets, right? Margie saying whipped shortbread and my homemade baklava.
Oh,
look at how good those look. Donna from Yorkton saying my homemade Nanaimo bars. Oh, delicious. Nathan saying my mom's homemade sugar cookies. It's not Christmas without them. We had Lori saying my favorite Christmas treat is homemade chocolate fudge. And then we had another answer saying baked goodies are, favorite baked goodies are whipped shortbread, confetti squares, homemade eat more bars, haystacks, and butter tarts without raisins. Let's not forget the homemade Chex Mix as well. That was what my mom made around Christmas time too. So yummy. We had Howard rating saying gingerbread house. Lori saying my grandma's homemade fudge. And Phil in Saskatoon saying date cake, haystackers, and shortbread cookies. Merry Christmas. All right, thank you so much for answering this question of the day. We'll have another very festive one for you tomorrow.
It's the season of dry skin, and if you're feeling the itch, you're not alone.
The cold temperatures outside, the high heat, and the low humidity, all of those factors play a role into making our skin more dry and more sensitive.
Dr. Susan Masick with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says there are ways to protect your skin and provide some relief. She says it starts with hydration.
You want to moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. You can never moisturize enough.
Masick says most products out there are effective. Emollients and ointments like petroleum jelly can help seal moisture into the skin. Creams that have more oil than water can replenish skin to keep it healthy.
Lotions tend to have more water, and so they are able to glide on the skin more easily than creams, but creams and ointments are more moisturizing.
And when outdoors, she says to cover up to make sure your skin isn't exposed to the elements. Inside, consider using a humidifier and avoid taking long, hot showers. Keep it lukewarm and shorter. She says to also pay attention to what you're washing with.
And make sure we're using mild soaps, gentle cleansers, avoid the really harsh astringents, toners, perfumes, scented types of cleansers that can actually help irritate the skin.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Well, we all know that finding that perfect and thoughtful Christmas present can be hard this time of year, which is why we're joined now by DIY and lifestyle expert Denise Wild for some ideas for every personality in your life. Good morning.
Good morning, Kayleen. Yes, I have lots of great ideas, and you know, tis the season, so we've got some time to prepare, and we're ready to start gift giving.
All right, well, let's start off with something small when it comes to a nice gift.
Absolutely. I always love a DIY, and this one is really beautiful and totally personalized. It's a box of Mercy chocolates that I have customized using some of their free printables. They have a bunch of easy-to-use tools and templates at mercy.ca, as well as more project ideas. It's really about more than chocolate. It's a way to reconnect, celebrate people for making your life a little brighter. This is a perfect gift for your teachers, your neighbors, your favorite barista, anyone you want to acknowledge with a small but meaningful gesture. It's elegant, thoughtful, while still being affordable. So you can say merci for being you to everyone on your list. It's just a little reminder that everyone deserves to be celebrated.
Absolutely. All right. Well, how about a mini gift basket that's sure to win over some favor?
Yes, so I always love a gift basket, and let's choose something that is suitable to somebody's interest. So whatever they're interested in, take a whole bunch of items along that line and put it all in a beautiful basket with a beautiful bow. It's just about creating something for them. And I have a great gift giving tip this year because we're all looking for smarter ways to manage our holiday spending. PayPal, a brand millions of Canadians already use and trust, has introduced their buy now, pay later solution called Pay in 4. No interest, no fees, period. It lets shoppers split eligible purchases into 4 equal biweekly payments over a period of 6 weeks. So it's easier to manage cash flow during the busy holiday season. It's available online at places like Sephora, Expedia, Ticketmaster, and every transaction is backed by their purchase protection, so you can shop with confidence. It's a great tool to help you stay on budget. You can learn more by visiting paypal.ca/pay4.
All right, Denise, we only have about 30 seconds left, but next up, you have something a little more luxurious.
Yes, well, this one is taking that every day and making it feel a little bit more elevated. This is the Waterpik Cordless Advanced 2.0 water flosser. It's clinically proven to be up to 2 times as effective as regular floss, proven to remove up to 99.9% of plaque that causes gingivitis, cavities, bad breath. It's that precise pulsating water pressure from the #1 selling brand endorsed by dental professionals. It's even suitable for people with implants, crowns, bridges, veneers. And if this does not end up under your tree this year, it will be on sale on Amazon from January 10 to 17. Just a little inside tip.
Thank you so much, Denise. I wish we had more time, but for right now, I'll just say thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Kayleen. Happy holidays, everyone.
Welcome to your morning. Let's get to your headlines. The sources telling CTV News Liberal MPs will vote against a motion today that calls for the federal government to support an oil pipeline. The motion explicitly calls for the support of pipelines enabling the export of at least 1 million barrels of low-emission Alberta bitumen from a deep water port on the BC coast to Asian markets. The wording is similar to the Memorandum of Understanding signed last month between Ottawa and Alberta, but does not include measures Alberta has agreed to. According to the source, the motion ignores critical elements of the MOU, such as the industrial carbon pricing and co-ownership opportunities for Indigenous peoples. Saskatchewan's first proposed uranium mine in more than 25 years is making its case to federal regulators this week. Denison Mines is front and center at a public hearing held by the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission being held in Saskatoon. The commission will hear presentations about Denison's Wheeler River project at the Athabasca Basin in northern Saskatchewan. Now, much of the focus is on Denison's consultation with First Nations and Indigenous groups, which date back more than 10 years, they say. English River First Nation, which has a history of dealing with uranium companies for decades, says Denison is embarking on a different kind of relationship between industry and First Nations.
Is done so in a way where the English River First Nations actually been consulted, and in this situation they have obtained our free, prior and informed consent.
Now, once that hearing closes, the commission will take up to 4 months to come to a decision on whether to approve or deny the request. Now to some dramatic video of a dangerous joyride on a Winnipeg street last week. Take a look at your screen. The truck swerving across the street, then rolling over. But it doesn't end there. The driver managed to take off with the truck in very poor condition. Winnipeg police later said it was abandoned. RCMP say that truck was stolen, and they're not aware of any injuries. No arrests have been made, but their investigation is ongoing. Yikes. A big milestone for a young athlete from the Ottawa region. 20-year-old Ella Day Bedard has been drafted by the San Francisco team in the brand new Women's Professional Baseball League, the first pro women's league in more than 80 years. Josh Morano reports.
Ella Day Bedard fell in love with baseball early and never let go of the game.
I loved sports, didn't want to play in organized sports, so I was at the cottage with my grandparents, and I threw a ball, and my grandpa told my dad, oh, she has a good arm, you should sign her up in baseball. So they did without my approval, and ever since I fell in love with the game.
That love turned into a pro opportunity when she was selected by San Francisco in the 3rd round of the inaugural women's professional baseball draft, one of the youngest players selected by the team at just 20 years old.
I didn't get the opportunity to go to the tryouts, so being called fairly high, I was actually very speechless and excited to see my name come out.
The Women's Professional Baseball League is the first of its kind in over 80 years.
We always hoped that there would be a professional league. We didn't know if we'd see the day during Ella's career, but you know, we did, and she's in her prime, so it couldn't have worked out better.
From hours of training with her dad to powering through boys' leagues in Quebec, she achieved her dream of representing Canada.
Ella's a tireless worker. She's very dedicated and disciplined. You know, she started with the girls, and as she kept working and improving, then she moved on to play with the boys till the age of 13. And then genetics caught up, so she started playing competitive with the girls.
All while studying civil engineering at U-Ottawa and playing softball with the GGs.
I want to finish my degree, that's for sure, to see what's going to be the best thing next year, since the season starts in August and ends in September, just kind of conflict. So it's to see if traveling will be an option to go to and back.
For now, she says she's taking it one day at a time with her eyes set on a new dream.
When I was younger, I always dreamed of making Team Canada. Pro League wasn't really an option. Now that there is one, it's a dream come true.
Josh Moreno, CTV News.
Today, the banjo is enjoying a resurgence due in part to one epic player who's now going viral for her unique take on a country music staple. Danny New reports.
There are all sorts of ways to control a puppet. But how about by using a banjo?
It's nice to be like, ah, I found something that I enjoy that other people enjoy too.
California's Phoebe Sanders here has been picking up millions of views on social media as she ties a traditional folk instrument called a jig doll to strings wrapped around her fingers. Usually, jig dolls are purposefully bounced on a platform, but hers is rigged to kind of dance along with her strums.
So the biggest thing is getting his feet to like hit the platform at the right height. So I have a bunch of hooks in my ceiling from all these videos. There's just a ton of hooks up here.
Now, you may have guessed this already, but her doll is named Gilligan, as in...
Make way for the Red Ball Express!
The titular character from the 1960s TV show Gilligan's Island. She ordered him custom made.
How did you come to like Gilligan's Island?
We watched a good bit of classic TV growing up. It's so charming and sweet, and Gilligan's just like the most endearing character ever.
However, Phoebe has not stopped there. Like Gilligan, she knows how to grab attention with a bucket hat, but also with a turkey, a reindeer, and more than a half dozen ghosts at once.
Is it harder to play the banjo when you feel him pulling you back?
When it's just Gilligan, no, but the more things you add, the harder it gets.
And while she did not invent this method, Phoebe certainly has found a lot of ways to get creative with it, looping her in with a whole new community in the process. One commenter writing, "In my circles, this is the coolest person alive." Not sure if that's referring to Phoebe or Gilligan, but hey, they're a team. By the way, Phoebe's only been playing banjo for 6 years, only had Gilligan for about 1, so if you can get a banjo and a jig doll, you could be like us in no time. In New York for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Multi-talented Danny New. It is confirmed Olympic hockey in Milan will be played on shorter ice than NHL dimensions. That being said, NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly told the Board of Governors he's optimistic the tournament can go on as planned. Crews are racing to finish the work at the arena, which will host the men's and women's tournaments. The NHL has set a February 2nd deadline, and there is no backup plan. Officials have also confirmed the ice surface will be shorter than an NHL-sized rink by about 36 inches. Doesn't seem like like a lot, but to them it's probably a world of space. Look at all that color behind you, and those road closures, they continue to expand as well.
Well, the road closures are right around Estevan this morning. If you're waking up with us from that southeast corner, you're definitely going to want to stay inside today as much as you can. Other areas in the south seeing that travel is not being recommended around Weyburn all the way up through to Regina, and then from Regina over to Moose Jaw, and then through Herbert as well. So travel not recommended. If you're waking up with us from the central zones or the north zones, we are still seeing some issues and reduced visibility on the highway hotline. Those conditions change rapidly. You are going to want to be checking those conditions before you head out onto those highways today. Let's turn our attention though to these current temperatures. They're not so bad this morning. Just seeing most of that cold way up north. Stony Rapids at -24, -15 in La Ronge, -12 in Prince Albert and Melfort, -12 in Nipawin. Down towards the south, some nicer temperatures, that blue color, 2 degrees in East End, 1 degree in Assiniboia, 1 degree in Swift Current, and 0 degrees to wake us up in Moose Jaw, Weyburn, and Estevan. -8 in Saskatoon, though, and -2 in Regina. The radar and satellite, of course, that's the big topic this morning, because we saw this low pressure system moving in from Alberta yesterday into the early morning hours today. We saw some freezing rain down towards the south. That is what's causing all those issues out on the highway and visibility issues. This is current right now on the Futurecast, so still seeing some flurries in a lot of places across the province, Prince Albert, Saskatoon. Most of the snow today is going to be falling in the area around Yorkton. So if you're waking up with us from the Parkland region, definitely bundle up if you're heading out the door. Into the later parts of the afternoon, we still see it sticking around right along that Manitoba border. And then we're looking forward to another system, also from Alberta, making its way in for tomorrow morning. It's going to start down in the southwest corner, and then areas up through Lloydminster are going to be seeing it in the early afternoon. Prince Albert, Saskatoon, and Regina all expecting to see it in the mid-afternoon. And then by the later parts of the evening, we'll be seeing it right around Yorkton once again. Estevan and areas through Nipawin also going to be seeing some more of those flurries. Then we look forward to Thursday, where, again, surprise, surprise, some more snow on the way. After that, Friday, we could get a bit of a break from that snow finally. Today's wind gusts going to be increased down towards the south, so areas around Regina, Estevan, and Assiniboia. It's not just going to be snow, it's going to be blowing snow across the highway. So highway hotline not really expecting to see much of an improvement there throughout the afternoon hours. Temperatures going down as of Thursday night, so be prepared for that. Thursday overnight, -26, and we're going to carry that temperature into the afternoon on Friday. As I mentioned, though, a break from the flurries expected on that day. -28 overnight, and then carrying us into Saturday, a temperature of -24 in the afternoon, -26 overnight, and then a few more flurries on the way for Sunday in Regina and in Saskatoon. Again, though, keeping in mind Saskatoon, we're keeping with this trend of seeing colder temperatures through Thursday night until Saturday overnight, and then flurries on the way for Sunday.
But I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I want you less, but I just want you more. So I keep coming back. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt.
This week in sports, we focus in on the Weyburn Red Wings, who are currently number 2, but most weeks, if you look at the standings, number 1, as we welcome in the head coach and GM, Cody Mapes, this morning. Cody, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
First, before we get into how bad are the roads out there in your region right now?
Yeah, we've pushed everything back here to this afternoon. Pretty much give everybody in town a chance to get around before our experienced drivers get out there and run into people.
Fair enough. Listen, what's led to your success? We know that you had a good run last year, but keeping that continuity is difficult, especially in today's hockey climate.
Yeah, you know what? I think we returned enough guys that the experience that we gained last year has helped us to start the year here. But honestly, I think our practice habits have been good. I think our group is truly a group that wants to get better every day, and I think that's been a big part of our success is just our mentality of how we go about things every day.
Unsatisfied, that's a word that I know you've used in your dressing room when you talk about last season, how it ended, and pushing forward into this season. What lessons did you learn from that run last year that you can bring into this year?
Well, you know what? I think just like your preparation throughout the entire year. I think we ran into some some injury problems and stuff like that down the stretch, and you saw the guys that had success later in the playoffs. They really took care of themselves all year, and so that's one of the things we've been preaching here. To start the year, the first half of the year here is that the habits that you have now in practice and off the ice, take care of your body and do things the right way are going to pay off in, late April and May. And we saw it last year that, it worked both ways. The guys that did that had success, and, the guys that maybe didn't do that as well definitely struggled a little bit. And so, when you go on a run where you play 17 games in 35 days or whatever it was, you've got to make sure that you've got a good foundation that you've built throughout the year.
We're seeing you take on Nipawin in the next couple of days and Warman a couple of times. We're broadcasting across the province. If people in those markets have never seen the Weyburn Red Wings, who are we keeping our eye on? Who's going to catch the most attention?
Well, you know what? We've got a much different group than we did last year. Like last year, we were pretty flashy, and we had guys that would catch your eye. This year, it's more about a team game, and our guys like Josh Sale and Lucas Schmidt have done a good job to kind of lead the way offensively. But our depth has been really good. Like we've got guys on our third line that are point per game, and we've got defensemen. Every guy is playing their 18 to 22 minutes a night. Like it's been, like I said, much different than having two Division I guys on your team last year and a goalie that was lights out every night. And this is much more of a team game, and we've got some guys that show up every single night to be different heroes every night, I should say.
Love that. Love the success that you're having. Good luck the rest of the way, Cody. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes with us today.
Awesome. Anytime. Thanks for having me.
As I always say, support junior hockey, not just around the World Junior Hockey Championships and not just at the CHL level.
All right, let's check back in now with Janelle Lippi once more down at Sticks and Doodles.
All right, well, we are wrapping up our morning at Sticks and Doodles with Kyle. But Kyle, before we do that, the inevitable loss, those feelings can really rise during the holiday times. You guys have ornaments that are perfect to represent these feelings.
Yeah, the reality is that every year Christmas is like so magical and amazing and wonderful until it's not. And, I lost my dad 10 years ago. And after he passed away, my mom and my family got me a Christmas ornament for my dad. And it's not one that we made because it's long before this. But every year I get to pull it out and I get to show my kids and talk to them about my dad. And it means a lot. So probably the most important work I think we do here is making memorial ornaments. And, even if this year is awful and hard, there will come a time where you're able to pull out that ornament and tell those stories. And so this is actually our most popular ornament. The message transcends, I think, religion, and it's something we can all relate to. And we always make a lot of extras this year. So I'll show you what it is. It is a very emotional one. So it reads, "The sky looks different when someone you love is up there." And I have this on my tree for my grandmother, as do many of my family. And they're probably the ornament we're most proud of making because they do have an impact, and we do have the ability to add that name or year onto that little charm on top of it as well. So if you've lost someone this year, or if you have a friend that's lost somebody and you just want to let them know that you're thinking of them, this is a really nice, easy, and small way to just, let them know they're there. And it sure means a lot to us being able to make these for that.
Wow, well, what a beautiful way to represent such a tough feeling during such a happy time. Thank you so much for this, Kyle.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, that does wrap things up for us down at Sticks and Doodles. Make sure you're coming on out. There is still time to get your Christmas tree ornaments just like this. You won't want to miss it.
Be careful. I
wheel. This morning, it's officially award season, and here are the nominations.
This is the end of the line. Not for you.
One battle after another, leading the way with 9 Golden Globe nominations, including acting nods for stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Teyana Taylor, and newcomer Chase Infinity. The movie also up for Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy.
Think of what we could do together.
Wicked for Good was noticeably absent from that category, but Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo made the cut for their portrayals of Glinda and Elphaba. Erivo becoming the first black woman to earn 2 lead actress nominations in the comedy or musical category.
I'm off to see the wizard.
Wicked for Good also landing a nomination in the newish category honoring cinematic and box office achievements. But it will have stiff competition from animated hits, K-pop Demon Hunters, and Zootopia 2.
This is not your worst idea.
Wow, that was almost a compliment.
Also included are the first acting nominations for Sinners star Michael B. Jordan and the Smashing Machines' Dwayne Johnson. Meanwhile, Jeremy Allen White gets a double, nominated for his role on the big screen as the boss in Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. And on the small screen for his role in FX's The Bear.
I don't want this place to be chaos.
The comedy, yes, comedy, facing off against other perennial fan favorites, like Abbott Elementary and Only Murders in the Building, which saw its superstar trio of Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez all get individually nominated. Please tell me you recorded that.
Big changes are coming to one of Seattle's oldest bars, starting with the legendary bartender who's been serving drinks since the 60s. Jim Nelson has the story.
At Seattle's last Roadhouse.
Can you guys hear us out there? All right. Well, welcome to the Shanty.
A capacity crowd.
$10 cover.
Piles in on a Friday, the only night they're open.
2 Sauvignon Blancs. Special night.
The band belts out a familiar question that so many have pondered, but not behind the bar.
I'm only 94.
John Spaccarotelli has been pouring drinks for 6 decades.
What?
Can we take a photo with you?
It has to be quick.
That's what brought us here.
Well, I didn't know you were coming.
You see, the Shanty is a family business. Yeah, including daughters Dana and Darcy.
It's our life. We don't know any different. He's had it before we were born, so it is like another sibling.
The bar opened in 1935. John took over in 1961.
You don't have to go downtown. You don't have to go to Ballard.
Here, it's about community.
He gets that one free. I'll just put yours on here. Keep it open. Talk to people.
Hard work. And so, in 2 weeks, John's retiring and closing Seattle's last Roadhouse. His sweetheart.
She takes a lot of my time. So when I got Mr. Sean at home, sometimes I'm a little lax. Then I have ketchup at home. And not on French fries either.
Time to catch up on life.
I play the piano a little bit. I practice, yeah.
The end of one chapter.
Keep on chucking.
Just the beginning of the next.
It's getting full in here.
You have to love him. He must be a staple in the area.
You're only as old as you feel, right?
That's true.
Good for him.
That's true. Jeremy will still be doing this at 94.
Yeah, what do you think?
I hope so.
Yeah, he's still doing
God willing.
Let's get to our sidebar. If you're thinking about getting into stand-up comedy, here's a good place to start.
Hey, turkeys. What did one snowman say to the other snowman? Smells like carrots. Hey, turkeys. What did one snowman say to the other snowman? Smells like carrots.
No matter the joke, it's going to work.
Yeah.
They're going to gobble.
You're going to be a crowd pleaser.
They're going to gobble.
Yeah.
They're going to think it's all fun and games till Thanksgiving. Come on, that's a good joke. That's
not your best. You've had better.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Scientists have confirmed new information while studying 16,000 fossil footprints in central Bolivia. A team of paleontologists documented the footprints left by theropods, which is the dinosaur group that includes the Tyrannosaurus rex. Their study is based on six years of regular field visits. The findings represent the highest number of theropod footprints recorded anywhere in the world. It also found these giant creatures moved in herds of all sizes, with some footprints belonging to dinosaurs that were roughly 10 meters tall and others as tiny as a chicken.
Yeah.
Watch where you're stepping.
They were friendly. I thought you were going to make an age joke, so I just...
No, I was too busy looking at the video because I find this very fascinating.
She made me change my tie this morning already, so I'm just on guard.
I didn't make you change your tie. I said the other tie would fit better.
She was right.
And he agreed.
It was not...
So I feel like I'm intruding here
saving
on
me
this
from my own
marital squabble.
Yeah. Mommy, Daddy, stop fighting. 200 people came up for Calgary's annual Santa Shuffle. 35th edition, raise money for the Salvation Army. Look at the costumes.
Yeah.
That's fun. They just did this in Regina this last weekend as well.
You got to wear something like those costumes to keep you warm, though, out there.
Yeah. Giant T-Rex costume is going to keep you real warm.
Yeah, you want to stay warm out there today as well, because we're seeing some more snow.
Yeah, maybe make sure you got those winter tires on. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you back here tomorrow on Your Morning.